Good morning, Redwoods. Wednesday morning, July 10th. (2024). Did you get outside? Did you look up? Did you breathe? Are you lonely? Are you lonely? Here I am. Here I am. Do you cry out? Do you cry out for somebody? Do you cry out for something? You get on your knees. Do you pray? Do you put energy towards something? You remember when you were a kid and say it would be three or more. So let's say you're say a sleepover. And there came a point where there was a conversation had between two of the people about an experience that the third one wasn't there. That's why I've told my daughter that sometimes when it's two is better than three, because sometimes a third gets left out. I'm just trying to get that idea in your mind. And some people do it. Some people do it when they're adults. Like, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying what happens sometimes. So, two of the people, one of them's like, hey, you remember when we did this? And you remember that? And it's a story and there's laughing. And, the third person is listening and wants to be involved. But sometimes, and I've seen girls do this, I've seen boys do this in different ways, but it seems like they're, especially when it's talked about at length, at the point where the other person's excluded from the conversation in any way, periods of time and the energy. That's what social media is. That feeling, that thing, that's what social media is. That's why the loneliness. That's like magnifying that little conversation that might last 5 minutes and putting it on blast 24/7. Whenever we decided as a society that would be a good idea to it's not about talking to one another anymore, like writing somebody a letter, like a handwritten letter, only they see it. What in the world is up with the idea behind you want to talk to somebody, but you want everybody to see it? And once again, I guess you target youth because it's destroying. Like they say, the suicide rate has been dominated by men. Like I said, I don't think that's going to get better. I want it to. But what's going to happen is there's going to be, I mean, you're seeing mental illness already because of in girls. So looking, like they say, comparison is a thief of joy. When you're putting something, a little girl putting a picture and hoping that people will like it, this is not healthy. This isn't judgment. This is This goes back to loneliness. You think you're lonely now? Wait until tonight. No, seriously. If you think you're lonely now, what about our kids? I think one of the things about the future is going to be terms like, this was a real picture, or this really happened, or this was in real life. It's going to be so rare. It's going to be so rare for actual, like, touch. You're seeing less and less touch. You know, especially after the lockdowns, etc., over health scares, quote, social distancing. Social distancing. You know, you would say to somebody, well, they didn't think that through. Yeah, they did. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew. Here's what they don't get. In I don't know how many years, those people will have done something that they won't be able to go anywhere without private security. They probably won't go anywhere. They'll probably be somewhere in a bunker. This isn't doomsday. This is, if you don't think there's a mental health crisis now, what do you think's about to happen? This isn't blaming it on one thing, because remember I started with what I think it is now. It's going to be the issue is, say, Instagram, for example, or whatever is being used to compare here's to making it better somehow, some way. Little things add up. I did get off on a back to the beginning. Redwood's redemption. Are you lonely? Do you cry out? Here I am. Here I am. Is anybody there? Telling you, all those tulip tree leaves are the prettiest. Like I said, each one's a little work of art. This looks like, this is sassafras. Here's another sassafras. If you are lonely, what can we do? I know we have to get back to interaction in real life. In real life. It's so, I've noticed, I do, basketball training, and I've noticed talking to some of the youth that, I say youth, there was a college age guy, and I didn't say anything to him about it, but he doesn't know what encouragement is. And I'm wondering how many, not leaving anybody out, how many young men and women are not getting any encouragement. And if they do get it, they don't know what it is. They don't know what it is, and it makes them uncomfortable. Guys, how bad does it gotta get? Y'all gonna keep playing the games? Are we gonna keep playing the games? What is important to you? What do you want today to be like? How do you want it to be different than yesterday? I know I want it to be different than yesterday. I think we have to get outside, step one. I think we have to find one another. I always want to go back to say, I don't know, 1400s and out west. Of course, I'd want to be invisible, because you come out of the time machine and you take one step out, and any kind of wild animal or person would take you out. But I would like to watch the Native Americans out there, say, in the Redwoods. And I imagine everything that they did was together. The boys and young men everything they did was for one another. It was for the tribe, the village, whatever. So, and the reason I bring the Native Americans up is because if you look at the suicide rate and you go back a little bit, that's what happens when you take someone's purpose away. You destroy them. It's not about politics or woe is me or whatever. I'm just saying we have a perfect example, a mental health example from the Native Americans. What happened? Everything that they did was taken away, including their home. I'm not virtue signaling. I'm saying look Just use that as an example. And then look at our kids and look at social media. And tell me you can't see. Compare and contrast. Definitely rambled, and at 16-minute mark, I don't know who is listening. But Redwood's redemption. What is Redwoods? It's you, it's me, it's everyone. Get outside. Get together. Fellowship in nature. Encourage one another. I encourage everyone that's hear this. Here you go. This is for you today.